Hey there and happy Saturday. It's not too often that I come to you guys on a Saturday with some inspiration, but I wanted to complete my set of 10 and then just have a larger window to create and get these cards out for you guys because I have a lot of stamping, a lot of cards to make because of your orders and such, and that's exciting. And I just want to also just wrap up the month because celebration ends on Monday. So yeah, so hopefully you're making your list and checking it twice and not missing out on anything from celebration, because with it being just 2 months now instead of what it used to be, the 3 months, it does make a difference as far as it just seems like as soon as it started, it's already over. Hey there, Julie. So nice to have you guys on here. And I'm just gonna see if my iPad is caught up with me. It doesn't look like it has yet, but I'll give it a second and I'll show you my card. So this is card number 10. I hadn't used this card yet in the driving by stamp set that's free with celebration. And I also want to kind of show you some paper using tips. Sometimes we have those little strips and pieces left in the packages, and that's been on my mind a lot lately. I feel like I always have 2-inch strips or something similar, whether I cut my 12 by 12 down or my 6 by 6 and such. And so it's just time to kind of show you guys some of those tips too. And I know my friend Lisa always likes to kind of kid me about using up my scraps, but I don't even feel like that's a scrap because it's such a big piece. In my mind, it's a big piece, but it allows you to do something with it, put it that way. Hi there, Wendy. Hopefully you're enjoying some sunshine where you are. This is great. Okay, so let me, hold on, get to the video here, and it could just be my internet, so I might just leave it and look for comments on my phone camera. So let me get my camera turned around, that way I'm not wasting your time, and show you the card the right way. So another thing that I love it when you guys kind of not request but kind of suggest, put it that way, like what cards do you need? And I feel like I could do a sympathy card every month because everybody's always needing sympathy cards. Another thing is birthday cards that aren't always floral or pinks or whatever. And so this would be, in my mind, it would be considered a guy card because it's blue. And just when I mentioned the color blue, there's my blue friend Lisa, who loves blue. And I love blue too. So I was trying to think of something that could be used for a fun birthday card that, like I said, wasn't flowers and everything else. Hi there, Lynette. And I just want to show you how I'm using today's Sunshine and Rainbows paper around the outside and just a little bit of coloring, and then you've got a fun birthday card that looks really festive. I feel like the coordination of the colors here just make it look extra festive without doing a lot to it. So let me show you, start off by showing you where these things come from. Oh, thanks, Lisa. I didn't think it was too much of a wow card, but just a really useful card. You know, sometimes like the wows are fun, but sometimes just getting a card made and knowing that, okay, I accomplished that and I really like how it turned out, and I didn't have to go over the top with all sorts of like techniques and die cutting and whatever, but there is a little bit of cutting. Hi there, Tabitha. I see you sent me a message. I'll watch it as soon as, or look for it as soon as I get done with this. Okay, so I've got this here, and the card is from Driving By, free during celebrations, so free through Monday. So I've used this on a card, I've used that on a card, and today I needed to use this, or it would be really sad if I didn't get to use all of these before celebration ended. So that's where the card is coming from. And I was talking to my stamping friend Pam, and you know, we talked about like you could easily cut the stamp apart. So all you need to do is take your scissor and just cut those presents right off, and then you would have not only a car but a present stamp separately, and you could always just put that, you know, back together either on your block or whatever, if you like to use it together. But there's just, if you can see, enough of a line, or if you wanted to cut that apart and make it even more versatile, you could have more presents if you needed those at Christmas. Or something too. So yes, Lisa, that's funny. I'm going to talk more about that card too in a little bit. How I almost did the card. Okay, so that is free with celebration. And then in the inside, I'm going to show you this. Often I don't show you this till the very end. To someone who is wonderful in each and every way. I just thought that kind of just fit with the sentiment on the front, and that is Special Moments. It's this huge photopolymer stamp set, and actually when you get it, there's 2 sheets of sentiments because it's such a big stamp set. So this is in the Celebration brochure as well, and it's at the $100 level. So so far those 2 stamp sets from Celebration, and then the paper. So the fun paper here, obviously you can see this is from Sunshine and Rainbows, but the polka dots and the fun granny apple green striped or kind of dashed paper, that's from Sunshine and Rainbows too. So I just, all of a sudden I was going through my paper, Sunshine and Rainbows, and I'm like, I need to use more of this because I love it. And this just went, oh, you know, I wasn't expecting that. It was on the back side of this. Yeah, I don't know if this will make you laugh maybe. This reminds me of when it's midnight and I used to babysit late at night. And it was, I'm old enough to remember when like NBC or CBS or whoever would sign off for the night. And this is, I feel like, what came across the screen, but that's on the back side of the polka dots. And then this just had more Sunshine and Rainbows, and I was tempted to almost use this to go along with it and tie in with those blues and greens, but I did like the solid green better, just so it didn't look too busy and look like too much was going on. So that's from the Sunshine and Rainbows paper. And then oh yeah, hoping your birthday is filled with all the best things. This is the only thing that you can buy if you wanted to make this. Yes, the TV screen. Thank you, Lisa. So I hope that makes sense for those of you old enough to know what I am talking about when TV actually used to be done for the day. Okay, so Sunny Sentiments. This is from the annual catalog, and I used that Sunny Thoughts sentiment earlier this month to go with the Sunshine and Rainbows paper, and it's perfect. And I also think it would be great to use with this piece or even this. So even when Celebration's done, I'll still be making cards with that because I love it so much. But this is where I got the birthday sentiment, was from this. And I switched from this set to the other stamp set Special Moments because there wasn't really, even though this is a great sentiment, there wasn't another one so I could have like a inside and outside. This could have worked, but I just felt like the fonts weren't quite right to do both inside and outside. So that's why I kind of swapped out for that. But I really like this. And I think when it says, hoping your birthday is filled with all the best things, it looks like these presents are really filled with a lot of stuff. So that's why I thought it'd be kind of fun. Actually, you could make some kind of joke about filling it up and hopefully have money to fill up your tank on your car because of the gas prices now. So, hi, Amy. So that's where that's all coming from. All right. So this is funny. Amy just joined in. So my friend, stamping friend Amy, she's also on my team. We were at a craft retreat one time, and she was like, you know what? I should just take some of my, 6x6 papers, which this is. And most of the time when we make card fronts, you're cutting it 4 by 5 1/4. So, or even like 5 1/4 just to get that 3/4 inch strip off, and then cutting it by 4. So you have kind of 2 strips. One is like a 2-inch strip and the other is that 3/4 inch strip. Hi, Kay. Thanks for joining in. So, so then you have a nice big solid card base, which I'd usually do. But when you do that, what's left sometimes are these 2-inch strips like this one and the 2-inch strips like this one. So I'm like, you know what? I want to make a card. So this would be kind of fun to play around with. And this could have been done, there. And maybe actually some of you that are getting my cards this month might get this design, or you might get this. But what I love is, since it's all from the same paper pack, it's going to coordinate, and I think it'll still look nice. My goal sometimes, if I run out of the exact paper, is to make something so similar that you hardly notice, or something that is just as pleasing to the eye. So then what I did was just cut like a couple more 2-inch strips from this and this, and then like this one I cut like 2.75 by 2, and then this one was about like 2 1/4, or maybe even 2 3/8 by 2. So that I just kind of have a little bit of a difference. I was going to cut it right in half, which would be just fine too, but it's just kind of fun to have a little bit of different spacing too, and then just having one solid piece so it's not so busy to kind of just keep your eye on focus. Hi there, Pam. And Pam, I have 2 Pams joining in right away. All right, so that's kind of how my card came to be, was sharing with you, like, how can I make the 6x6 work to the best potential and use it. So what I'm going to do first is just take some basic white and my cut and emboss machine. This is the only thing I'm using it for, is just one quick cut, but I think that's what makes the card kind of come together and pop. Oh, thanks, Kay. So from my Stitch So Sweetly, here we go, if I get the packaging, Stitch So Sweetly dies. You can see I use this one a bunch because I'm constantly tucking it and I've ripped that through the paper, but I'm using this kind of scalloped rectangle that's stitched, and it's got some other shapes in there too. So it's that one, and I think I just have been using that one a lot again lately. You know, it's kind of funny because it's called Stitch So Sweetly, and I feel like when it comes to springtime, I'm using more sweet and soft things, and so it just kind of, like, I don't know, goes together that I would reach for this one. So I'm just going to take the basic white and feed this through quick, and then I'll be done cutting and using my machine. So I've got that, and as I pop that out, you can see the stitching there along the edge and the nice scalloped edge. Okay, so I've got that, and I'm gonna set this aside just for now and kind of show you how I assembled my card. So it's already kind of cute just sitting there like that. And the card base today is Misty Moonlight, 4 1/4, 5 1/2. Actually scored at 4 1/4 here, so it's 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 to be technical. And this is, like I said, Misty Moonlight. So one of the colors that will be going out at the end of this annual catalog season. And I like to let you know that too before celebration ends, because, you know, in a few weeks or so, 2 to 3 weeks, I would assume that Stampin' Up's going to give us the retiring list. We know that this is probably going to be on the retiring list because it's an in color that's retiring. And so think about, do I have enough card stock? Do I have enough ink refills? Do I want the ink pad before it disappears? So just a note about that. Okay, so I have this strip, like I said, it's cut 2 inches by 5 1/4, and I'm just going to put this down across the side or the edge here of my card. I'm just kind of eyeing it and leaving about a 1/4 inch or so, maybe a little bit less. And then this, because I cut this one a little bit shorter, now this one's a little bit longer. I just did 2-inch strips, and I thought I'll adjust on each 2-inch strip, so every other card's going to have like a longer green and a shorter polka dot, vice versa. And so I'm just going to put some adhesive tape along the side of, or along the back, I should say, of this, and then I'll put this along the side. And because this one is longer, I feel like it should go on the bottom. That's the only reason why. I'm just curious if this will end up giving it a different look by having the green on the top and the polka dots on the bottom. Okay, so I've got that on there just by kind of eyeing it, and just no really rhyme or reason, but just eyeing this so it goes across the top, and then eyeing that, and then whatever space is there. Yours might just be able to, how do I want to say, because this is solid, it doesn't matter how big of a space that is. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. And then here we've got this. So now I'm ready to do my stamping on this. And it does look like it's quite full, but spacing it for this to me came out really easy, because I'm going to start with my Misty Moonlight, open that up, and then take that sentiment, the birthday sentiment, hoping your birthday is filled with all the things from Sunny Sentiments. And I'm just going to see this kind of stitch line across the top. And I'm just going to try and get as close as I can up to the top of that, like so. And then we've got it pretty close to the top there. And now I'm going to open up my Memento black ink and ink up my car with all the presents on top of it. And I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to aim for that stitching on the bottom and just try and put my tires above that in black ink, like so. And then there's room for both with just that little bit of gap. But I felt like I'm not so stressed about how much space is in here, how tight or how loose, if I'm just concentrating on that and that. And of course, if you have a Stamparatus, that would have been the thing to do. And then it's time to color. But before I do that, my first intention, you guys might go, oh, that's nice. My first intention was to take a piece of Granny Apple Green, which my card will have that, and just stamp both the card and the sentiment in Misty Moonlight and just leave it. Just, whoops, I didn't hang on to it well enough, and just leave it so that it looks like this. I've seen some cards and they just did that all in one color, and some of them had this actual card and presents, but maybe a circle and not the sentiment on there, but just the circle. And I'm like, you know what? I like the look of that. And they had it on kind of some busier paper, maybe just all of this. And so I think it really popped and stuck out. The more I worked with my card, I couldn't leave it. I could not. It just looked too like, oh, Belle forgot to color that in before she mailed it, is what I was thinking. And so I swapped the Misty Moonlight blue ink out for the basic, or the Memento, excuse me, so that I could, oops, I need that back. So that I could do some coloring, because I felt like if I now colored over top the blue, it might erase the lines because of it being alcohol markers. So I went to my Memento black here, and I'm going to start with, oh, I'm coloring, so I'm trying to remember to move my camera in a little bit closer. So I'm just going to start with Misty Moonlight, and the darker of the two. Just kind of going to go over the top of the car like so, and then kind of the bottom here has a nice little edging, so it's kind of easy to see. I'm gonna fill that in, and when I use my Misty Moonlight, I feel like this color for some reason has a little bit more of a color variance between the light and the dark, and so I try and blend that when I get it close together, so that I kind of get a little bit of color swapping going on. So I'm just gonna color that in like so, and then just kind of trace that door and then the handle there. So that's all I'm gonna do for now with this color, or actually at all. And then I'm gonna switch to the light, Misty Moonlight, and just color in the rest. And like I said, I'm just gonna actually go over as much as I can of the dark as I color that in, to get some blending to go on too. And things do, even though it does look like it's a little color difference, things settle down like always as it sits for a little bit. Oh, and since I have my cap off, I'm just going to quick do this present up on top. I'm just going to color that in solid there with a light Misty Moonlight. And then next I'm going to do my pool party. And this is actually the light pool party. And I'm just gonna quick grab this gift that's underneath that one there, and just quick color in the windows. Here it can be a quick color in, because if you don't, or if you hit the other color, it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna do a little bit of that bumper there, and then the two insides of the tire quick, and then that color's done. Next, I'm going to grab Granny Apple Green, and it's the dark. So sometimes when I only use one color, I like to let you know. So I'm going to finish off the presents by doing the top present and then the bottom present in Granny Apple Green. And the card doesn't get any Granny Apple Green, but I'm just doing that so it blends with the card. And then next I'm grabbing Smoky Slate. And I'm just going to color in around the wheels with the Smoky Slate. And this is the lighter of the two, like so. Oh, you guys, I forgot to do this on my card. I need to do that on my other one, just to add some kind of pavement there. Even though it's the same color as the tire, it's going to add something to it. And I'll show you the other one so you can see the difference. Oh, Mary Jo, it's been a while since I've seen you on here. You must be keeping busy. It's good to catch you too. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to color in just a darker there. So you can see adding that little bit of Smoky Slate on underneath the tires, even though they're the same color as the tires, just adds a little something versus this, even though this isn't bad either. But I feel like I need to go back to this card and just fill in a little bit more I'll put the whole card together, and then you can kind of compare it too and let me know your thoughts. But I think it always adds a little bit more. And then I'm going to just finish assembling it. So just a little bit of color, and then it comes together really quick. For assembling, I'm going to take some dimensionals here and put those on all 4 corners. But yeah, like I said, my purpose was to find something that wasn't hunting, fishing, sports related, that could be a guy card. And that's why I thought, oh, if I get some blues and greens together, that always makes a good guy card too, to kind of fit the bill for those types of occasions where it's just like, I just need kind of a plainer birthday card for that. And so I was hoping to have that happen with just the color combination today as well. All right, so not a lot of this gets covered up, so you can kind of see all the fun papers there, but yet this definitely still is going to be the focus of the card just by putting that on there like so. And of course, my color inspiration came from the polka dot. So we've got the Granny Apple Green there, some Pool Party, Misty Moonlight. And then that's where the color inspiration came from, kind of everything, which helps because then it coordinates so well. So now you can see kind of the difference between, okay, I've got, you know, the underside of the card, but I feel like the card itself, adding that underside of smoky slate just makes it look really full. So yeah, I think I'm definitely going to fill that one in right away too. And then for the inside, that's where I brought out that Special Moments Celebration stamp set that says, inking that up in Misty Moonlight and stamping that out like so. And I'm just going to add that to the inside of the card. Whoops. Usually this is the part too where I work on the inside and accessorizing my card. But because I wanted it to remain looking like a guy card, actually though, if a female got this card in the mail, like for their birthday, I don't think anybody would complain because it's really cute, bright, and cheerful. Even though I said it was kind of like meant to be more for guys. Having the blue ink helps, but because of that, I didn't want to add any ribbon, and then I didn't want to really add, I kind of pulled out a few accessories, but I thought, okay, this is busy, and even there's enough pattern in the Granny Apple Green, even though it's the most solid one, where I just didn't want everybody's eyes to go wonky by trying to figure out where am I supposed to look and what's really going on. So that really helped by just leaving it accessory free. I felt like that was kind of just enough. And sometimes too much is too much, and little is more or less is more. So there you can see the difference too between the white on the bottom and the green on the bottom, but I think both of those look just fine that way too. So that is my last card. That is card number 10, guys, for my February set of 10 cards. Still there. There we go. For some reason, I kind of got rid of my screen there again. So that is it for my demonstrations for the month of February already. And although March is already next week, so it's not like I finished in record time by any means, but it was also, I really had a full month with 3 hostesses and doing their demonstrations online. So I still have Dawn Earlbeck and Deb Warwick that I'm going to be finishing up soon because of celebration so that they can get their orders in. But if you're ordering and still want to use those codes, you can. How you can get my set of 10 cards that I demoed for free is place a minimum $75 order using this host code. When you order, just click on your cart, and then there'll be a box for host code, and then you can click apply. Sometimes if you get over 150, that happens faster than a person thinks, then you can choose if you want to get my cards or go and continue on with host rewards and use them yourself. So you get to pick if you get my 10 cards or not, or if you want to use your host rewards. That's your choice. It makes no difference to me. And if you just decide, you know what, I want to use my host rewards but still get my cards, you can order them for $25 for the set of 10, and that includes shipping. So if you guys have any questions or need to contact contact me. I'll probably stay pretty close to home through the end of celebration, because things can sometimes get pretty crazy. And yet the sooner you order, the better, so that things don't sell out. Because when it gets to be this time, like today, as I was placing orders and helping people, I was noticing low inventory came up on just, you know, even the basics like ink pads and things like that too. But just know March 1st, I probably won't be demoing right away, because I want to make sure that I get celebration wrapped up well, and then I will be working on my newsletter and such. But just know that March 1st, there will be a stamp bundle set going on, and I will put that in my email and post some pictures online on Facebook too before March 1st, so that you can kind of get an idea of the mini cut and emboss machine. Is going to be 20% off, as well as about 13 bundles. 10 are bundles that are currently in the catalog, so you'll get 20% off instead of the normal 10. And then 3 of the stamps, stamp and die bundles, haven't been bundled since they first came out. They're separate, but now Stampin' Up's going to rebundle 3 of them. I'll let you know which 3 those are, and you'll get 20% off instead of being charged separately for the stamps and dies. So that's all I have for you. Have a great rest of your weekend. Catch you sometime next week. Bye.